Hello and welcome to Where to Find the Things. So for any test when we're reviewing, we generally do a few different things. Obviously you have your lessons to look over with all of your notes, and then you have your practice assignments that you can go back and reference. Hopefully those are for the most part written down in your notebook, since you have to do a file upload or you've written them on papers, hopefully that you've kept organized. And then we also have our Google site. So I'm going to kind of show you where the things are. So if you're on Google Classroom, we have 4 weeks that we've done. We didn't do any content the first week, so don't worry about that one. But we did start content in week 2. So you can see some of the review things here that were attached. You can see the practice assignments. So if you want to go back and like resubmit a practice assignment, like in terms of trying problems again, you can. The feedback for these practice assignments generally shows up in your email. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. You also have your quizzes. Same thing, Google Forms that you got and then were released back to you. We have some additional practice problems we've done here and there, but everything's pretty easy to find. So if you want to go back and review anything, you just need to open up the post and click on the thing that's linked there. So the other option you have is the class site. So if you go to the Start Here section and you're in reference materials, you can click on our class Google site and go to chapter 1 here on the side, and then you'll see basically some resources. So I've got the chapter 1 notes key that you can open up. So what I would suggest looking at here is anything you've annotated in a different color. So if you had a red pen or a colored pen, and then your important ideas boxes, like that's where you want to zero in on to study. So when you're studying off your notes, look at those, because that's where we summarized all the things. So we've got things you can check off. You can look through some of these, check for understandings again if you want to review stuff. It's all here. Then the other options you have are these at the bottom. So any videos I've made for chapter 1, so all of our lesson recordings, all of our practice problems, feedback videos, any of that stuff that pertains to content, I linked here in this YouTube playlist. So you can just open it up and go through the videos as you need them if you want to hear an explanation again. The other option, if you're sick of hearing me talk, is to look through this other playlist of someone else's great videos that I compiled. And then lastly, I would take a look at these AP tips. These are just some tips and tricks of things you may want to review to make sure you don't lose any points tomorrow on some of the nitpicky stuff that we've been practicing. So it's all in one little sheet for you to look at. So the only other thing that you'll want to maybe think about is your quizzes and your homeworks. So when you do those on a Google form, I release a score back to you and it comes to you as an email. So essentially, you'll want to go into your email and search for released score, and it should bring up any of those form emails that you got. It might be a good idea to start saving those emails in a folder. So let me show you how to do that real quick. If you click on any message, like if I click on this one and I want to sort it somewhere, I can click on the move button, or I can click on the labels button. The labels button, if I want to create a new label, I can go here and I can name this. I'm going to name it test label. And so then when I hit create, this message will be, I can move it then to that thing I just created. So if you want to start putting your released score emails into a folder like that, or a label, that way you won't lose those. But like I said, you can always go back and reopen the forms to review the problems if you want on your own. So those are your options in terms of where to find resources.